G'day everyone, Diesel here for Getting Around Oz Camper Trailer Travelling, and thanks for clicking on the video today. I have also been lucky enough to get hold of some gear that hasn't hit the market yet from iTECHWORLD. I can share one that I have here, and I can share one that is coming very soon for you, so stick around for that one. And with the 12 volt build here, I'm going to break it down to at least a couple episodes. Before I do get in and start fitting this one here, I want to tell you what I got and why I got, and a little bit about how it works. And in future travel videos, you get to see how this will perform. Now, if you like what you see today, hit the subscribe button, jump on board with us. I really hope you're getting something out of these videos. That's the whole bloody idea of this. Grab yourself a coldie, make yourself comfortable. Let's get into it. A quick update on what's happened so far is, I am a little bit nervous to be honest with you. Mission for today is to install this water tank here. So now that that's out, alrighty, that's going to be my workbench here for the moment. It did fit perfectly. So there you go, that's my false floor installation. And alright, let's get cracking on this one. Got a bit to get through and I don't want to keep you here all day. But I'll just start off with letting you know, I bought this gear. This is not a sponsored video, okay? I'm not getting paid to do this. However, iTECHWORLD have offered me a discount code for you to use. So if you want to get any of this gear yourself, you can get 5% off with our code GAA5. So feel free to use that one if you want to. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into it. Now, the guts of any system is the battery. Okay, now there's a lot to consider when you're looking at batteries, and for me, we had AGM, we had a couple AGM batteries actually, and then this time last year we went with a 120X lithium battery. That was the first lithium battery we ever had. AGM versus lithium, I'll keep it quick because I know a lot of people are now up to it, but if you're not, AGM is a lot heavier, but it is a lot cheaper. The battery capacity of an AGM, generally most people will sort of say 50 to 60% of the capacity is what you get. So if it's a 100 amp hour battery, you know, work backwards from there. But lithium is more expensive, there's no doubt about that. But once you go to lithium, you don't go back. I promise you, you'll never go back because they're so much lighter. You get so much more out of them. Another thing about a lithium battery versus an AGM battery is these things here have a battery management system built into them, which is designed to shut the battery down before it actually dies. So it'll get down to a point where, you know, maybe it's like 5 or 10% of what's left in it. It'll shut itself down so you can't damage the battery, whereas AGM, you don't really get that. So with this one here, I've chosen to go with a 240X Pro. I was unsure exactly which battery to go for. I first bought I think it was the 220 or the 200 SS, I think it is. It's the slimline one that has the Bluetooth battery in it. So that one there initially I was going to put on the side with the inverter, but I actually had it there and I measured it, but I actually changed my mind on that one. I decided to go with this one here because this one is going to go behind the fridge tie there. So I think it's a bit easy with the build. It's a bit easy for my system. Now I just grabbed my phone out here. Apologies, it's just a bit easy for me to just reel off some quick specs for you. So it is a drop-in replacement. It does have a 5-year Australian warranty. It is rated for underbonnet use. It is IP67 waterproof rated. Weighs 23.6 kilos. And being having 240 amp hours, it is rated to have 100% usable capacity. It does have a continuous discharge of 250 amps. Peak discharge of 500 amps, which is 5 seconds worth. Life cycles, again, is another big pro of lithium versus AGM. Charge this one, you know, from 0 to 100%, you get 4,000 charges out of it. Whereas if you're charging at least from half or, you know, something like that, you're looking at 8,000 plus. Something else to think about as well is the dimensions. So I'll chuck this on the screen for you now. And like I was saying before, with the way the 200 SS slimline was going to fit in there, there's going to be a bit more work. But this one here, the length of it, it's actually going to sit nice behind the battery with a bit of room for some cabling and all that sort of stuff there as well. But there you go, there's the 240X Pro for you. I am about to chuck this one on charge now, so a recommendation from my Sparky was make sure you charge your battery first before you start using it, just to make sure it actually doesn't have any problems with it before you get in there. So same with all electronics. Try and test them out first, give them a run, because the last thing you want to do is get everything in there, get it all set up, and suddenly you've got a problem with something, because things do happen from time to time, but it's much nicer knowing that it's working before it goes in, so you don't have to bloody pull it out and stuff around with it. Nearly forgot to tell you about this one. Battery trays. Yes, you can get all sorts of different sizes aftermarket, but for me, I just went with the one that they make there. It's made for it. Construction's pretty solid. It does have the rubber matting on the bottom here to give it a bit of shock absorption. Shock, you know what I mean? And a couple of tie down straps there, again being lithium. It's a bit easy to fix in, whereas you go on AGM again, you're going to need to really make sure you secure that, because if you've got a loose AGM battery, remembering this sort of battery here, you're looking at comfortably 100 kilos to achieve the same sort of thing. Next up is the inverter. Sorry, I got that there just so it's easy to sit there. Something else to consider when you're looking at an inverter is making sure you have a battery that's big enough to be able to handle it, because whether you're looking at 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 watts, you need to think about how much power it's going to draw and how much a battery can actually handle. They will cook the battery if you don't have the right capacity. So this one is not on the market yet. This one, they did say it was, yes, going to be coming soon. They do have another version on there at the moment which has that RCD and the ATS switching set up there, so consider that one. Now, the reason I've gone with a 3,000 watt is I didn't want any restrictions. I know it's a big bugger and a lot of people will not need one this big, but I want to do some really remote trips and I don't want to have to compromise essentially with anything, that I do. Remember, I go camping with my kids and going with the air fryer and, these types of things. It's super handy when you're out there after traveling for a long day, and using a 3,000 watt in the camper trailer, it was a no-brainer. I did really consider the 2,000 watt. I'll chuck the measurements on the screen now, and when I was looking at the battery going in there, I really had to think long and hard about how I was going to fit these. So the 2,000 watt is a bit smaller. The newer ones are actually slimmer in profile, a little bit taller, whereas the older ones are a little bit shorter if you like, but they are a bit wider. So that's something to think about there. So for me, and this essentially is going to go on the side window there. Very simple. An inverter, for those of you who don't know, means you can take 200 or household appliances camping with you and plug it into these sockets here, or you can actually run an extension lead out here into a power board, for example. If you're looking to take out air fryers, coffee machines, hair dryers, hair straighteners. We use a toaster as well. Little toasty sandwich makers, all those types of things here. Being able to take all the creature comforts from home and actually take them out camping with you. Trust me, when you do it, I know there's a lot of haters that think it's a bit over the top, but if you can do it, why not? This one here's got the switch here. It does come with a remote as well, which I'll grab in a sec, which is a separate, I think it's about $50, $49. You do have the option to get the cabling, which I have done. So this is the inverter remote here, which is the RC3. So this newer one here, it is a bit neater with the light. So the reason I've got one of these is I can turn it off and on here. I don't actually have to reach around and find the switch. It's pretty simple. That one there is going to go on the rear here. It does come with quite a long cable. The cabling, again, is an optional extra. So when you're on the website and you click on the inverter or the DC charger, for example, you can choose to select the cabling as well if you want to, which is 90 millimeter cable, which is quite thick. It does come with a 450 amp maxi fuse as well. I'm hoping these are going to be long enough. I feel like they might not, but I don't have to worry about a fuse. I just might have to make up another cable once we're looking at running to the shunt. So 000 AWG cable there. It is all nicely put together. So again, I can't remember what it costs. Back on here now. Unfortunately, overheating GoPros is not a new thing to me, even though it's not a hot day. But anyway, something else about this inverter as well. It does have a 6,000 watt peak output. It is a pure sine wave inverter, and this one is also designed to be able to work with different types of batteries. So whether you've got a lithium or an AGM, for example, this one here is compatible with all those. All right, now the next one I actually haven't got. I did get the current control hub with the 40 amp DC charger built into it. Well, in the middle of this week, when I went down to pick up something else here that I'll show you in a sec, they told me they've actually got a new one coming out soon, and asked me if I was happy to take it and share that with you. So in a couple of weeks, there is going to be a new control hub coming. This one is actually going to have the battery monitor built into the actual panel there. It is also going to have the shunt built into it as well. I also took back the BM500, which was the battery monitor with the shunt. I'm not going to need that now. I'm glad he told me, because I was actually about to cut that panel in the board here, which was going to fit in the back there, but that new control hub, I won't need it. I think it does have a couple of extra USB-C connections, so I think there was 3 USB-Cs and a USB-A, a couple of 6 sockets there. I think there was 5 switches as well, which is going to be handy for me when I'm switching on the compressor or the water pump or the light. And obviously the 40 amp DC charger, I figured would be enough for me to charge this. I'm hoping that'll be the case. This is the biggest battery I've had. I got 200 amp of battery capacity in the camper trailer. The 40 amp charger in that one has done the job so far, so hopefully do the case this one here. Control hub does have all the fusing that's required as well, so all the switches and the bits and pieces there, every single one is fused on its own there. So once I'm installing that I'll actually sort of be able to open that and show you what that looks like. But I guess it just, combines 2 devices into the one, and that is going to go on in the side window here with the inverter. So you get the idea of it with the shelf there, the access to the side there, and be able to flick all the buttons and do all the stuff that I need to do. Is going to be very handy for that one. This one as well, there is an option to get cabling if you need it. So I got I think it's 4 AWG cable, which is for the control hub itself to the battery. I have also got the DC charger install kit. Can't remember off the top of my head how much it costs. This one comes with the ignition wire and a nice long cable as well, so that's just an extension if required. Not 100% sure I'm going to use this. I'm going to be using bigger. I haven't quite set on that. It does come with some bloody cable ties in there as well, so I got all the extra cabling and bits and pieces because I figured it's just all bloody easy to do it all in one go. Now this is one that, well, this was a late edition, I'll be honest with you. So this is their new 40 amp AC to DC charger. I'll get him out here, sorry. Comes with a heat sense wire, the power cable, and actually more cabling there, and it was actually supplied with some more cabling, so oodles of cabling there. This is a little bit different. Now we're running the 20 amp AC charger in the camper trailer. The reason I went for the 20 in the camper trailer, because I figured anytime we're plugged or connected to power when we're camping would be in a caravan park. And if we're in a caravan park, we're probably staying there 2 nights minimum, maybe a night, but locally it's 2+, and an overnight charge with a 20 amp charger would be enough. It is a little bit different to this one, and I actually like this one better because the old one actually had the lights on the inside, and I can't actually see them in there the way I fitted them. But these ones here, switch on this side here. This one has actually got the buttons on the front here as well, which I don't remember the old one having. So this one here, you can actually select the profile of battery that you're using. It tells you what stage of charging it is. Connections wise, I've got the fusing here. The manual says there's a remote coming soon for that one, so I can't tell you much more about that. This one is, by memory, a slightly smaller profile than the other one. Oh yeah, similar to the inverter. The older one was maybe a bit shorter, but definitely came out a lot more. So remembering this one here is if you want to plug in to your to a 240 volt socket, whether it's a 10 amp or a 15 amp socket, this one here is going to charge the battery. So if I'm at home, and because this is going to be on all the time, I'm going to have a fridge in here as well. If just driving around and the 40 amp DC isn't charging enough, or if I'm camping and the solar's not providing enough, I'll plug this one in here and open them up. The other part is as well, if I ever get in this drive, I can actually plug this one into the camper trailer, and the camper trailer will give this enough charge. A couple other specs, this one here, it does have reverse polarity protection as well. And I guess something else that's important with the charging is these ones here will actually charge your battery in a way that is kind for the battery, and it's actually going to prolong the life of the battery. Remember, you can't just connect your solar panel straight to the battery and charge it. You're going to wreck it. You do need to charge it in different phases. So this one here is going to make sure it goes through the cycles I need to. So there is a like initial bulk charging phase, and then it's a slower draw as well. So that one there is going to be handy, and this one is likely going to fit in the battery box there, and I'll be able to show you how that one works as well. But it is a bit nicer. 2-year warranty on that one there as well. So whether you're considering the older one or the newer one for yourself, completely up to you. I'm not going to update the one in the camper trailer, which is the older one. It does the job, works fine and good enough for me, and they are actually a bit cheaper than these newer ones as well. So if there's still some around, bloody get a hold of one of those. And something else that I cannot show you right now is on Wednesday we picked up the 40 litre fridge freezer, which is the iFrost freezer. So that's something that we'll be able to show you another time. So that one is currently being used by Anita in her car. This new fridge actually has a portable battery that goes into it. So essentially it can, it can run itself. I think it's a 20 amp battery. So I think it's rated to last about 20 hours of normal use. This one, for example, yesterday was the first time Anita used it. So basically this new fridge, you can charge it either by plugging the 240 volt power in. You can actually charge it by plugging a solar panel into the fridge. Like charging a fridge via solar panel is something new for me, that's for sure. It's touchscreen as well. Anita yesterday morning put the fridge in fully charged overnight. She in her car, she's only got a 6 socket, which obviously just runs off the ignition in the car, so that doesn't charge when the car's not going. She was out on the road most of the day. When she got home from work, the fridge was at 3/4. When she went out this morning, it was down to a quarter, and we're obviously keen to see what it's going to be like charging today. Not going to be doing too much driving around, so that's something else where, we'll be able to give you some more feedback in time, but that one there will end up in here at some point. Now, I am going to be needing some more cabling, maybe a bus bar and some different fuses and fuse holders and those types of things, but once fixing this thing in here, which is what I'm about to start, I will sort of show you what I can when I'm plugging these things in and what I'm using. I am actually getting help from a 12 volt Sparky. His name is Caravan, so his company is Travelling 12 volt. He's in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia, so if you're in the hills or in Adelaide yourself, give him a call. He's been really good. It's been really good. He obviously assisted me with a plan for the camper trailer, and if you're interested in that one, I'll chuck a link in the video so you can check that one out yourself. No, he's helping me out with all the plans and requirements, talking me through what I need, why I might need it, answering the many stupid bloody questions that I have, because it's, for the average person like me, it's quite a bit to get your head around when you're considering, cable sizes and fuse sizes and why you need to do this and why you need to do it that way and all that sort of stuff there. But yeah, check him out. He's very thorough, very good, doesn't cut any corners, has been a great help for me. So, but that's pretty much what I'm going with, and it's cost me a few $1,000s. I'm not going to lie, it's much more than I intended on spending when I started this thing, but I just got to a point when I'm not going to cut any corners. I'm just going to go for it and make sure I get everything I bloody need, and I don't want to have any regrets later on, and that's why I got the big battery, I got the big inverter, I got the big chargers, I've got everything I reckon I'm going to need for off-roading and off-grid use, and I can't wait to start bloody using it. Don't forget, we do have the discount code, so they've got a Black Friday sale on at the moment there, so you can actually get an extra 5% off whatever current sale prices are going, so make sure you don't miss out on that one. And let me know in the comments if you had any questions, you got any feedback, or if you got any experiences of your own. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you might be looking at yourself. If you're looking to do a 12 volt build yourself, I'd love to bloody hear about it. And the build itself, there's still a lot more to do here. You can see a pile of bloody tyres here. They arrived yesterday, so we're getting a tyre upgrade on this thing here as well. There's going to be a shower tent going on here in the next couple of weeks. So, and if you enjoy our channel, not subscribed, hit the button, get behind us. We've got a lot more to do here, and I'm really enjoying doing this part. It's all starting to come together now. I've done a lot of the hard work, and now it's getting interesting for me. And while there's still a lot to do, it is quite exciting, and I am enjoying bringing this to you. And again, I just hope it's helpful. If it's not, and you got some questions or would like to see something, let me know in the comments, and like the video if you can. That helps the video circulate a little bit. And as always, appreciate your support. But I'll wrap him up here now. These for Getting Around Oz, Camper Trailer Traveling. We'll catch you with another build video next week.